This is the Sideline Chatter Spotlight. Today's guest is Martin Cox from Thirst for Knowledge. And now, here's your host, Steve Tober.
Hello everyone, Steve Tober, Sideline Chatter Spotlight. State tournament time is here, and joining me, Martin Cox for Thirst for Knowledge, the president, also a renowned historian on Plainfield basketball, and a man who sees more basketball than just about anyone this side of Jay Gomes and NJ Hoops. I'm sure, Martin. We're getting ready for state tournament action. It's underway. The Plainfield Cardinals, a team you're very close to. This has been a senior class that has just matured and come together. Of course, the great run last year as juniors of the tournament champion final in the Group 3 state championship. We're looking for another big run for them again.
Yes, Steve. This is a Plainfield team that since their sophomore year has played in the TOC final. They've won a Group 3 state championship, played for a Group 4 state champion, are certainly one of the top two favorites for the Group 3 title again, and a possible run again in the TOC.
And you talk about Justin Sears going to Yale, Sekou Harris. There's a lot of fine individual players on this team as well, and a couple of versatile athletes. Alan Jordan, an outstanding football player, who's also a very good inside performer, and some good athletes on the team.
Yes, Jamal Lane also, maybe the unsung hero for the team this year. It's a really deep team with 9+ seniors on it, and it's just been a really good run in Cardinal basketball history this year. As a matter of fact, Jeff Libreski becomes the first Plainfield coach to win more than 20 games 4 consecutive seasons in a row.
Now that's impressive. And Rico Parenti, I mean, we both go back as far as Rico, the gym named after Rico. What a run. I mean, it was hard to believe that Plainfield hadn't won a Union County tournament since 1979.
1979, Steve, and I happened to be a manager on that basketball team, and I looked at my medal the other day.
That was quite a group, and you go back. And remember, the Union County tournament now over now, as you're watching this video on Sideline Chatter Spotlight. Steve Tober with Martin Cox. But the oldest county tournament in the state, and one that goes all the way back to 1937.
Yes, absolutely. Plainfield actually appeared in the 1939, which was the third championship game in that series.
I think Rawway won it the first year. The Rawway gym is named after the
yes, absolutely.
The gentleman who from that team. And you talk about Plainfield in Group 3 in the state tournament. Everybody loves this, the first week of the state tournament, because upsets, teams fall like dominoes, one after the other. And you might have a great regular season. Sometimes you don't know who's going to rise up in the state tournament.
Right. I think in Group 3, Steve, you have to be careful for Teaneck coming out of North Jersey, Section 1. But Eastside is on a streak. Obviously, Jimmy Baglin does a great job up at Mendham, so you never know who's going to come out of the Group 3 section, North Jersey.
And I don't know, Irvington is a team that's very talented, but they've kind of slipped since they were knocked out in a game they should have won in the Essex County Tournament quarters against Bloomfield, and they've hit a rough patch. But then again, you don't know. Maybe a team like that can resurrect themselves. But let's talk about Teaneck with Chris Jones and that fine team. Jerome Smart took over for Curtis March, and they haven't missed a beat. You saw them last year at East Orange in the Group 3 semis, and that was a classic game, and we could be back there again this year. Absolutely.
Last year they were on a 27-game winning streak, and they're on a 24-game winning streak this year. So they're a tough team to beat. They come out of the rugged Bergen County League, and it's going to be a very interesting matchup if they both advance that far.
Union County this year, obviously St. Patrick with a new kind of look with Chris Chavanis taking over for Kevin Boyle. Roseville Catholic, when they have a healthy Tyler Roberson, who just recently came back again. In fact, he got hurt against Plainfield, I believe, that won that first, the only time they played them. And prior to the tournament, if they're going to meet as we're taping this piece. And then you talk about certainly what Elizabeth has brought as an improved team. It's been sort of an intriguing, a little different year in Union County.
Yes, and also you can't you have to consider Linden, which has had 4 3-game winning streaks. They're extremely young, maybe the youngest Linden team I've ever seen, with a freshman and sophomore in the backcourt. But they are a team which has the potential to advance a couple of rounds in Group 4.
Martin, just tell us briefly about Thirst for Knowledge, which does a lot of great work in the Plainfield area and in Union County.
Well, Thirst for Knowledge, we're kind of an information company. Our motto is education is a life-altering experience. And what we're famous for is since 1979, I've run a program called the Back to School Jam. We help over 1 million kids a year. We give away free school supplies to every kind of school district you can imagine, not just urban districts, but all kinds of districts. And what we're most proud of is in 32 years, not one single school district has paid us one dime for over 50 million items that we've given away free.
That's fantastic. And you've had quite a run in terms of service in local government for colleges, and also the manager at Rutgers back in '79 with Abdel Anderson from in Belleville, which is where our studios are located here at Sideline Chatter. And so it's been an interesting journey.
Yes.
Martin Cox joining us here on Sideline Chatter Spotlight. Steve Tober. We'll be back with more.
Connor Chevrolet, we're a great deal and a great deal more.
Connor Chevrolet since 1919 knows what keeps you coming back, like our huge inventory and great deals on Impalas and Malibus, Ventures and Silverados, Trailblazers and Corvettes. At Connor Chevrolet, we work hard every day for your business.
Connor Chevrolet, we're a great deal and a great deal more. A great deal and a great deal more.
Welcome back to Sideline Chatter Spotlight, everyone. Steve Tober with Martin Cox from Thirst for Knowledge and Plainfield historian and state basketball observer, as we're in the midst of the NJSIAA state tournament. And Martin, one of the great games we both witnessed this year, a showcase, and they don't always live up to their advanced billing. This one did. Gill St. Bernard Plainfield in the primetime shootout at Roseville Catholic. And Alex Matola, the sharpshooter for Gill, really put on a show that day.
Steve, he may be the best pure shooter I've ever seen in over 41 years of following New Jersey basketball. He went 8 for 11 from the three-point line. Many of those field goal attempts were over 30 feet. I've never witnessed that ever, and I've seen thousands of New Jersey high school basketball games.
But your Plainfield Cardinals, they showed resiliency that day, coming back from a couple of deficits in regulation and in overtime. And Plainfield, the never say die attitude really came through.
Yeah, I think our athleticism were extremely long, and the defense had a phenomenal effect upon Gill St. Bernard's. I don't know that they faced another team with that kind of defensive presence. Obviously, they were on a 35-game winning streak against New Jersey public high schools. And they're one of the top teams in the state. They have been ranked nationally. And I think they'll make some noise in the NJSIAA tournament also. Of
course, a team that's been around much longer than them in terms of basketball prowess, St. Anthony Friars, Bob Hurley, the legendary coach, Kyle Anderson, headed to UCLA, probably the player of the year in New Jersey. Do you see anybody being able to knock off the Friars? I know you have to hope from a Plainfield perspective they can do it, but it's going to be a tall order.
They're going to be hard to beat. They're on a 47-game winning streak. They are extremely long and athletic. I don't know that I've seen another team. They're not necessarily the largest team I've ever seen, but some of the guys that are 6'3" and 6'4" have arm length as if they're 6'7" and 6'8". So they're extremely long, they're extremely athletic, and they don't hurt themselves. They just do not make mistakes. And I don't care what the crowd atmosphere is, they don't get fazed by that.
What 2 or 3 teams, Martin, you think might have a chance to knock off St. Anthony, say in a TFC setting?
Well, certainly Hudson Catholic, depending upon what happens to them in the tournament.
They could meet North B.
In North B. Hudson Catholic, potentially Plainfield. Gill played them well in a scrimmage. Some people believe that Gill beat them in a scrimmage. You never know. A team can get hot. Teams have to stay healthy in the tournament. And a team can get hot, and anything is possible in the NJSIAA postseason tournament.
St. Joe's Metuchen, Quentin DeCozy going to Temple, and the young Carl Towns freshman getting a lot of exposure. Could meet up with Seton Hall Prep if everything goes well, a team close to the Essex County scene, of course, the top team in Essex. And that would be an interesting rematch from a regular season game that St. Joe's won.
Absolutely, but between them, they only have 3 losses. And again, anything is possible on that particular night.
Any players surprise you, Martin? I mean, obviously DeCozy and Anderson have been there, regardless of whether it's Matola or Cena from Gill. We'll have to see. Justin Sears from Plainfield, some of the players in the mix. Any players that have risen up maybe we didn't expect this year?
Well, no, I have a preseason team, and my preseason All-State team had many of the players that we've talked about, or they've been in I do a team that's 6 teams deep, first team through 6 team. So I haven't been shocked by anybody. I've been shocked by a couple teams, and the team I'd like to mention is Paulsboro, 23-0. They recently beat Paul 5. They've also beat Eastern the other night. So they could be the Group 1 champion this year on a 23-game winning streak. They have size, they have athleticism, and they may not necessarily be normal for a small Group 1 team from South Jersey.
This year, there's been some publics, not only Teaneck and Plainfield that have risen up. You mentioned Paulsboro, but those group championships among the publics will have some intrigue because I think like Group 1, Group 2, I mean, there's some wide open sections and wide open groups. North Tech has had some other issues in terms of players not being available, injury, and other academic issues. So they've kind of fallen on the wayside a little bit. But those groups are very wide open.
Right, you're looking at a very good Willingboro team also for a small team in South Jersey.
And you talk about the larger ones, larger publics, maybe in Elizabeth, who's kind of resurrected itself under Coach Ballant this year. Up in Essex County, you've got Columbia possibly in that section. North 2 Group 4 is also an intriguing section because you don't have Plainfield in there being in Group 3.
Steve, I think the most open section in the entire state, or most open group, is Group 4. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite, and you have probably 8 to 10 teams who have a legitimate shot at winning the Group 4 title this year. Last year,
Patterson Eastside had such a great run. I was surprised the Juan Griles team is so good this year again, without the great point guard Dave Burgos, but Deontay Noble and company, they've done it again, and some people think Patterson Eastside make another run.
Right, I think he's developed a great system there, and his players are playing in the system, and again, they could be the favorite from North Jersey.
Well, Martin Cox, I want to thank you for giving us a good overview of the state tournament. Everybody get out there, see some great basketball. I always think, Martin, the first week is maybe the most exciting with all the upsets that happen along the way. And hopefully the Plainfield Cardinals are hanging around until the end again. We'll have to wait and see. But best of luck. We'll try to maybe bring you back for a recap of the state tournament.
Thanks a lot, Steve. And just remember, for members of the public, they're young student athletes. Support them in everything that they do. Eliminate the partisanship of your local town and support the student athletes who bring us great and quality basketball.
Great drama at a very reasonable price. Enjoy your NJSIAA state tournament. For Martin Cox from Thirst for Knowledge, I'm Steve Tober, and this has been the Sideline Chatter Spotlight.
For further information on how to be part of the Sideline Chatter Spotlight, contact Steve at sidelinechatter.com.